gosh.
Hot mics.
Hot mics.
Yeah. So it's picking up what we're saying.
Yeah, we're not going yet, but just letting you know before we say something.
Okay.
Being that I'm here right now, I'ma go and get it right now, get committed right now. I'ma do some shit that's gonna uplift a bunch of people's spirit right now, help them heal it right now. I'ma get them riches right now. Work plan, manifest, be, speak that shit into existence right now. Can't slow down, got the vision wrote down, cause I seen it, man, I'm on right now. Focus in the motherfuckers where I'm in the zone right now. Ain't no later, dog, it's only right now. And it's only right now.
It creates.
Right now. No past, no future right now. All I got is right now. No past, no future right now. All I got is right now. Fuck what they did to me, gon' do, cause all I get is right now. Fuck what they did to me, gon' do, cause all I get is right now. So I focus on that when I can focus on now. Pull up at a beach on the outskirts of town. Enjoy the view and give thanks to the truth. And I go hit the yo just to shut that bitch down. And I'm high right now. So alive right now. Clear skies right now. Living my life by my own rules. I feel what I choose. Straight and narrow, but it's just straight and narrow. Yonder music. Do it now. Gonna take some words, okay? And I'm right back at it. Divine alignment, fully automatic. I don't think about it. I just watch it happen. I just move toward it and I get supported. When I try to force it, it just get distorted. So I dance with it. Crystals all in my pants with it. Healing all in my hands with it. I'm an alchemist. I'm a master. I'm a rabbi. I'm a sensei. I'm a bad guy. I'm an alien. I'm an animal. I'm a cannibal. I'm so handsome, no. Yo. And I'm high right now. Can barely open my eyes right now. And that money we making it. Climbing these ladders and laying foundation, that's masonry. This shit is different, cause my dreams are literally chasing me. Grateful for where life is taking me. I'm living life, that's to say the least. Only true beauty can tame the beast. Only true love can tame that beast. Are you here with me right now? Right now. Vibe with me right now. Right now, yeah.
Welcome back. You guys are back on the bench podcast with Bubba and Pink, home of sports, music, and mayhem. What's going on, guys? Uh-oh.
Not too much. You're replaying the starting song.
I'm picking the wrong thing here, man. I'm doing. That's what happens when you do 1,000 things at once.
Oh, get yourself together, man.
I'm trying to, man. On the Bench Podcast, we're available on all podcast streaming platforms, including here on YouTube. Please like, share, and subscribe. Home of sports, music, and mayhem. Actually, our guest here today, Payton Kirkland, his mom helped us pick out that tagline that we've been using and
yes, she did.
Doing well with. We've came so far since the last time Payton and his mom was on the show, man. We're up like 800 subscribers since they last came, and
there we go.
Thousands of views more. So
thousands of views.
I don't know if they're directly responsible for that, but we appreciate
it. They can claim it. Why not?
We appreciate it every time it comes on the show. What's going on, Payton?
What's going on?
Nothing much, man. Nothing much. Don't be shy now.
No, I'm good.
I gotta turn you up so I can hear you.
Well, I heard he hasn't eaten since Monday.
Come on, man.
That's crazy, man.
That is, man. That's
we got a good show for you guys today, like you can see on here. Payton Kirkland is joining us on the show. We're going to talk about his recruiting trail and the process and all of that good stuff. Why he landed on the school he landed, and some of the fan bases that he kind of, chose against. And we'll get to some of their comments.
Don't make it a negative. Be positive.
Oh, no, it's going to be positive, man. He landed at the right school for him, for sure. We're going to talk a little more college football. They just released the top 25, the first official rankings there. Of course, some NBA with the Brooklyn Nets, that fiasco as it tends to be every year. Rest in peace to Takeoff, a member of Migos, and we'll get to Deion Sanders with his team and the message that he's putting out, being that they're playing in Houston this weekend, and a lot more on the bench. Let's start here. Let's start here. We usually start with something a little light to get things flowing and get things open. Cause I see now we got to get you open a little bit, man.
You're trying to start heavy?
Huh?
Trying to start heavy now?
No, we're gonna start light.
Oh, start light. Okay, get everybody engaged.
Yeah, man.
Pass the ball around.
Yeah.
Like Hoosiers, 4 passes before shot.
So I'm at the gym, right? This is a few days ago. I'm at the gym. I never know exactly how old I am until I go to the gym, because
Really?
a lot of those guys are very young, and I know because they call me these names. They Unc, OG,
Yeah.
old man. Everywhere else, I'm young to the rest of society. But when I go to LA Fitness, I'm OG, old man, or Unc. Them the 3 names.
You know it's worse than that?
What's that?
Sir. We can't be on the basketball.
Sir,
players.
pass me the ball, sir.
That's just the worst feeling in the world, man.
It is. So I'm walking in. I'm trying to figure out who has down. So it's a group of young guys. They sitting down in the corner there. So I go over there, and they know me. They like me because I can shoot the ball, whatever. So they sitting down. He's like, yeah, man, we got next. You on. So get ready. And then the other young boy starts talking. He says, and they're like, 3 of them are seniors at Lake Mary, right?
Okay.
So they're talking. And the one boy says, hey, yeah, man, this chick don't even know, but I'm just about to smash, man. I'm just gonna smash and slide. I'm gonna keep it real G, keep it real player. Like that. And I'm listening. And I say, man, should I say something? I don't know. And
You should.
so I say, yeah. So I say, man, that's not really player. That's not really keeping the player. If she don't know, if she knows, that's now you a pimp and a player that you want to be. Like, you know what I'm saying? But if she don't know, that's the opposite. You're not being the player.
You're just a fake relationship guy that got spooked.
You know what I'm saying? Payton, what you think about that, man? Was that sound advice, or you think he's doing the right thing?
Nah, that's good advice, but I'm all about loyalty. So
Okay. All about loyalty.
That's
so
right.
so we don't smash and pass.
The Texas Longhorns are happy to hear about that. All about loyalty. I love it. That's good.
What you think?
What do I? No, if you're trying to be a player, you got to do what you said.
Yeah.
If you just want to be a guy smash and dash, go ahead, young fella.
No, that's for sure,
Yeah,
man.
I don't know. That's
Yeah.
funny though.
No, it is.
Did they kind of like turn to you for wisdom, or you kind of?
No. I just happened to hear him talking, and
Hey, I hear you guys talking about pussy over there. I got a thought or two.
I've been down that road once or twice before. No. But Payton, so we got you, man. You went on this wild recruiting ride. How long was that ride for you, actually? Like dating back to like when you seriously started going on these trips and things like that.
Going on trips or getting offered?
Oh, so
Well,
I mean,
offers
is
were
that
first, right?
Yeah.
And
offers
then-
are first?
yeah.
So going on recruiting trips and things like that. When did that first start?
Right after COVID picked up, around like June, going into my sophomore season.
So 2020, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, 2021 actually. I'm sorry. June going into my junior season.
Okay. And then, how many total visits did you make?
Okay, let's see. First was Georgia Tech, Georgia, Clemson, FAU, and then I believe my very next visit was Ohio State. I was at Ohio State 3 times.
Okay.
Ohio State 3 times.
I've been to Texas twice, Georgia another time, Miami 3 times, Florida about 8 times.
Oklahoma, right?
Oklahoma twice.
And Michigan State, I know you went there.
Michigan State 3 times.
3 times there.
Michigan once.
Okay.
I think I've been almost 50 maybe.
You didn't go any West Coast schools?
No, I didn't really like the West Coast schools.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Because of geographical reasons, or like you just not a fan?
It's just not my style of ball.
Just not your okay, style of ball. So what really played a part in the schools? Like what was like rate them like 1 through 3, like as far as style of play, close to home. Like what was in your
What's
brain?
your basic criteria?
Yeah,
like
when you
I mean,
making decisions.
Distance is always a factor for most guys, but distance was never a factor for me.
Okay.
It's just me and my mom here. My mom has plans to move to Houston.
Anyhow, okay.
So I say coaching, mentorship, development on and off the field was probably the biggest things for me.
Coaching as far as their abilities and like their record, or like as far as how they related to you and like the things they were saying to you.
Track record and relationship.
Okay.
And, of course, the style of ball play that there was.
Do you ever like sat for a second and thought like how difficult it got to be for these coaches? Like it's whatever, hundreds of D1 schools or whatever that number is, and think about the multiply that by how many high school athletes are coming out, and they have to keep these relationships with all of these players some kind of way. Like you ever like thought about like, because I'm sure you go maybe weeks without hearing from a coach. Do you take that as they don't really care about me anymore? And while you have one coach that's really on top of you every week, like how did you ever think about that or anything?
I mean, the way I handle my recruitment, I really never had to deal with that. Like I've been telling people no since my sophomore year.
Okay.
But I mean, those coaches, they're in the sales business, so
Yeah.
It's not something that they aren't trained for. They have meetings every week and every day about recruiting, and they're trained for it. And some coaches that come from the NFL and go coach college ball, they don't understand that you actually have to recruit and build relationships. But it all depends on the coach, because every staff, they'll have maybe somebody that doesn't like recruiting that much, so they'll have someone else do it, like a director of player personnel do it. So.
Okay.
That's a good. I like that when he says sales. Like they actually salesmen. You know
Oh,
what
they
I mean?
are.
That's,
you have to be.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
have to be. I mean,
I never thought about it that way, but
Yeah, but I mean, sales is relationships,
Right.
and it's you have a product that you're trying to pitch. That's the thing. Did you have like as far as like coaching in the relationship? You'll obviously have a position coach, and then you've got the head coach. Do you regard one of those relationships as more important than the other?
Yes and no. You're not around the head coach that much unless you're at practice and all that other. He calls you in the office for a meeting, but your position coach, you're with him in practice and meetings as well. But the people you're around the most in the college football program is the strength staff. So
Okay.
strength staff and nutritionists. So I feel like both of those relationships kind of equal out the same. The head coach has to deal with the whole team, and the offensive line coach has to deal with the offensive line and running backs.
Right. Okay.
let's get to some stories, man. What's the most interesting recruiting trip you took? Is there anything you taking to the grave? Is there anything you not? I mean, because we watch these movies, people that's not I've never been on a recruiting trip, but what I see on these movies, they got
I got to take some of this to the grave.
Fair enough.
But
What can you share before?
most interesting recruiting trip that you can share?
the most interesting,
Yeah.
it was a lot leading into it, but it was
Okay.
my Georgia visit
Georgia visit?
this past, I think it was last March.
Okay.
What was this past March? Yeah. So the day after the national championship, Kirby Smart came and flew a helicopter on my practice field at my school
Oh, wow.
and came to watch me lift. He couldn't legally talk to me or anything. He could talk to my coaches, but he came to watch us lift and all of that and practice a little bit. And the day after, Saban flew in town and all of that, and in his helicopter as well. But I wasn't at school that day.
Oh, really? Were you skipping?
This saving.
No, it was in January, actually. I was actually on my way to Georgia.
Oh, okay.
And a couple of days before that, Saban had offered me. So,
Oh man.
Georgia flew down and all of that, and then, like, I give it a week. Then I went up there.
Yeah.
And mind you, I had got hurt at Georgia before. So
yeah, I remember hearing that. Yeah.
You got hurt at Georgia?
Yeah,
What, like
I wasn't supposed to be working out or anything.
Oh.
And I ended up doing the camp, and the first drill I got hurt. So I stopped talking to him for a long time and all of that, and then once they won national championships, like, they just started pressing back on the recruits that they, kind of missed out on early in the process.
Okay.
All right.
See if the title changes things.
So I went up, I enjoyed myself, but, my mom had some concerns and all of that, and it was weird. I don't know, it was kind of a weird vibe around the program. It's like they kind of felt entitled because of the national championship. And I mean, I would too if I was a college
Yeah.
fan. But there were just some things that were said that were not true.
Okay.
And some things that were said by a certain coach on that staff that just they weren't ethically correct. So
Okay.
I mean,
Interesting.
and I don't know, the ride home was kind of a little bit weird, and the days after that were a little bit weird because the reason I was considering them really, really heavily at the time was because the offensive line coach was there, Matt Luke, and if Matt Luke was still the offensive line coach there, I think I would have tried to go there. But the day after I left, he resigned.
Oh,
and then,
okay. So you leave your visit, the next day he's resigning.
Right, and then my second choice was Bama after that, and I didn't have a relationship with the offensive line coach because he had just came from the NFL, and that same day, a couple hours later, he got fired, and they hired a new guy on the spot.
Really?
And it was Eric Wolford, the coach that I used to talk to a lot earlier in my recruitment process.
Okay.
So you felt kind of comfortable with him?
Yeah. So, I mean, that Georgia visit, just like the things leading up to it and things that happened directly after it were just a little bit weird.
Yeah.
Now, you're on your way to Georgia, and Saban flies the helicopter. Like, do you get a call? Like, where are you? Or, like, what's happening?
I got a text message from my coach, yeah.
Turn around.
He's like PK, where are you? I'm on the way to see Georgia. He says, "Well, Saban's here for you." And I mean, this not my coach's first go around with Saban.
Yeah.
I mean, Saban had 2 commits from Dr. Phillips in the same season. So
that's funny. That's too funny. So, I mean, did you ever hear from Saban about it?
Oh yeah.
What did he say?
I mean, it was over the phone. He was like, I missed you there.
What now? Okay, a lot of these guys you see on TV, you see their interviews and this and that. Were any of these like higher profile coaches like kind of like way different in person than you thought they might be?
Yeah. I mean, and it's not even in a negative way.
No, and I'm not even saying for negative, just different in some different way.
Yeah, I mean, their energies are completely different in recruiting, of course, but
yeah,
I could see through it, and the coaches there, I feel like they're a lot more laid back than you would think. Okay. Some aren't, some are, but like you get an actual feel of who they actually are in face to face.
For sure. That's funny. Did anybody strike you as like exceptionally goofy?
Coach wise?
Yeah.
Not a head coach.
Okay.
Maybe an assistant or a position coach.
Okay.
Head, actually, can't say it.
Off the air.
What I mean, because I still want to know. Like, I guess I just have to come out and ask. Like, is what we see on these movies and TV, with the like all of the girls, like they're trying to, like, do schools still try to get these recruits by way of girls?
I mean, it depends on the recruit. Like the schools, like
they try to do their background and see.
Yeah, like they know everything. So the schools, like even before you get there, they ask what you try to do. You know, I've had a girlfriend for the past couple of years, and everyone I was always around on my visits, like my host, they always had a girlfriend. So it's like you kind of pick it. I'm like, okay, I see this.
You see what they're doing.
And they're not going to send you out with the biggest player on the team if you're a girlfriend guy.
Right.
I'm with this guy playing Madden in his apartment, and the other recruits are having some fun.
At strip club.
That's
right. Strip club in the dorm room.
Private show.
Private show.
Private show's the way to go. That's all I got to say.
I'm coming here. No, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. All right, so talk to us about the fiasco. Now, you said you visited Texas twice or 3 times.
Twice.
But the word was you never had visited before.
I didn't before I committed.
Okay, so you didn't before.
So
you
how
committed.
the hell does that happen?
Yeah.
All right, so the week you're committing it's supposed to be like one of the most exciting times of your life, and you're just really excited for it and all of that. And everybody keep asking me if I'm ready, and I'm just saying, yeah, no, I'm not telling the truth. It's like it was like a dark cloud over me the whole week. I was down the entire time, and my mom noticed it and all.
For
that.
real?
And I didn't know why. And right after official visits, coaches get like a 3-week break, and that's the only break they get for the entire year. So some coaches choose to recruit during that time, some coaches choose not to. Majority of them don't. So I was gonna go to University of Miami. You can say they fumbled the bag, but they took their break, and then they would talk to me here and there like once a week throughout their process. And I told the head coach that I was ready, and he was like, "Great, you're on board." Boom. And then 3 days before my commitment was July 20th, he calls me and says, he texts me and says, call him. And I pick up the phone. I answer the phone, talking to him. He says, great to have you on board, but we just have some concerns, and, we need you to hang up the phone and pray for 30 minutes and call me back.
That's what the coach said.
Are you serious?
I'm like, you got to be playing with me right now, man.
What does that mean? I don't know.
I don't know what that means.
I took it.
I would say, Coach, I'm an atheist. I'm not familiar with your ways.
He's usually a high energy guy, and he seemed kind of down when he was saying it. So
is he like a religious guy? Is that Okay.
And I'm just like, all right, Coach, whatever, cool.
Yeah.
So I hang up the phone. I drop to my knees. I'm thinking like, all right, God told a random person to tell me to pray. I might as well just do it.
Yeah.
So I drop to my knees. I'm saying, like, what's going on? And out of nowhere, I just start crying. I'm like, what? What's going on?
Yeah.
And, like, I feel like it was a vulnerable moment. I'm on my knees and praying, and I didn't even know what I was crying about. And my mom comes in the room. She said, son, what's wrong? I told her what happened. I said, Coach so-and-so told me to get on my knees and pray, and he has some concerns about us. And she was just like, what? You serious? I'm crying. I'm like, she's like, oh, no, not my baby, yada, yada. And out of nowhere, I just stopped crying. I wipe my face up, stand there, look at her for about 5 seconds. I said, call Coach Flood. That's the offensive line coach at Texas. I said, call Coach Flood. She's like, for what?
Mom Duke said, speak up, by the way.
Okay.
Everybody's saying speak up, by the way. Keith said it.
Okay, so
give us the man voice.
I said, call Coach Flood. I keep telling her, call Coach Flood, call Coach Flood. And she's like, for what? And then I call him myself off of my phone, and I give her the phone. I say, Ma, tell him I'm coming. Tell him I'm committed. Tell him I'm committing right now. Right now. She looking at me like I'm crazy. Like, what do you mean you committed right now? And that was kind of history. From there, he was like, are you serious? Like, you just made my whole vacation 10 times better. Like, are you like, this isn't a joke? And I'm like, no, sir. And the reason it was Texas, it was like the school that was always in the back of my mind. Coach Sarkisian, the head coach at Texas, and Coach Flood, the offensive line coach at Texas, were at Alabama before as an assistant coach and offensive line coach. At the start of my recruitment, and they were like always communicated with me. When I broke my ankle, they were one of the only schools communicating with me consistently, even though they hadn't even offered me. And when they left to go to Texas, they offered me, and then a couple months later, I was supposed to visit, but then I got hurt at Georgia, so I wasn't able to go visit. And they just kept consistent. Like, we would have Zoom meetings talking about technique and all of that, teaching me, just looking out for me, even though he knew he thought I wasn't coming there. And then somebody mentioned Texas to my mom and myself, like, a couple weeks before my commitment. Like, nah, I can't do it. It's too late. And then all of a sudden, it just happened.
That's wild.
It was the best decision I ever made.
I think what people because like if you're say if you're a single guy and you're dating whatever 4 or 5 women, right, and you're trying to decide which one you want to make your girlfriend, you're gonna, if you don't pick one, you're gonna end up picking one of the other 3 to 4. You know what I mean? Like, okay, she's first place, second place. Okay, if first place does something wrong, I'm gonna go with second place, third place. And it seems like you went off the grid. Like okay, if Miami was number 1 and whatever happened there happened, you kind of bypassed 2, 3, 4, and 5 to the girl that wasn't even on the reported list.
Well, Bubba and I attended your commitment party, and the promo for it didn't include Texas.
You know what I mean?
There was other schools on there.
Right. So that's what that was the big, that was the big thing on social media and stuff.
Yeah. The reason for that is I handle my recruitment with respect the entire time. So every school in my top 5, I told them I was not coming. I told them already. I called them and let them know why. I didn't say where I was going or anything. And,
right.
I told Michigan State that same day that Miami called me and told me that. And, everything just felt right afterwards. Like, it was a sigh of relief. Like, a cloud got removed from above me. I was happy. I was going about my days differently. I couldn't stop smiling.
That's awesome.
And coming to the commitment day, like, my mom had a green bag full of, like, Texas stuff in it that had my commitment hat in it as well. Yeah. And right before we left the house to go to the event area at Desertland, I get a bag to one of my best friends, Pudge, and I said, whatever you do, don't open it. And he could have opened it at any time and knew, but, there was a picture of him holding the bag, and it was just like him not even knowing what's in the bag. But nice. I mean, it was amazing, and to see the shock on everyone's faces after I committed. And I wasn't gonna ask y'all, did I surprise you at all?
Yeah, for sure. I was like, what? No, I don't know. I felt like, just from like talking more so to your mom and seeing some of the stuff you posted, that it was probably Miami or Michigan State was what I was thinking. And then I was surprised with Texas. I was like, where did this come from?
And I thought it was Miami or Florida, because all the times I saw you going up there. And
Miami, that's where I wanted to go. Me and my mom, we hashed it out about that, and she wasn't 100% on board with it. And I was 0% on board with Michigan State, which was the school she would have loved for me to go to.
Yeah.
And it's just like something wasn't working. And the only school that we genuinely agreed on, all my top 5, there was no other school that we agreed on other than UF.
Okay.
And I didn't want to stay in the state of Florida genuinely.
Okay.
And the only school that we genuinely ended up agreeing on in the very end was Texas.
Yeah. That's perfect then. But when the coach calls from Miami and he's talking about we have some concerns, did he say what they were?
No. I didn't even give him a chance. He wanted me to call him back and tell him to talk about it. I didn't call him back. I called my new coach.
Oh, I just don't understand that just seems so.
Because it's like last minute. Or they're like, what do you, I don't know. What do you mean? Like,
that whole thing just seems so bizarre. I mean, it just, as a professional, in my work life, I just can't imagine handling a situation like that. That just seems so strange to me.
Yeah, it really does.
That's crazy.
It's a lot that goes into this recruiting trail, and, it's a lot that goes on behind closed doors.
Right.
The conversations that I have with my mom behind closed doors about certain schools they didn't know about, and I don't know what they're talking about in their meetings. I don't know what.
Yeah.
In all honesty, whatever his concerns were, the rest of the staff did not know.
Yeah.
When I was talking to the rest of the staff, they was all over it.
Yeah, anybody can have concerns about anything. To me, the professional way to approach that is like, hey, I'm going to call you and I'm going to say, hey, I'm concerned about A, B, and C. Right. Let's talk about it.
And that's the proper way to handle it.
Yeah, that's what blows me away.
It wasn't handled the correct way, and I couldn't respect that.
Yeah.
So
I think you're 100% right on that. So you commit to go to Texas, but you hadn't been there yet.
I didn't.
Tell us about the first time that you actually got to Texas. What was it like?
I knew I didn't need to visit Texas to even know that was the right place for me, because I didn't make this decision. God made the decision for me. So in the end, I walked by faith and not by sight. So when I landed in Austin, Texas, it was just like, this place is covered by God. It really is.
Nice.
It's something about the state or the city of Austin that just comes upon you. You know, it's a very chill, laid back city. And when I got there, it was just like this is home.
This is the place for me.
And school is smack in the middle of downtown.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was just. You can even ask my mom. It was like everything felt so right about the school, and going there and taking the visit, knowing that there wasn't any politics happening or secret meetings and all of that because I was already coming. So it was like, it just felt amazing.
That's awesome. Did you meet Matthew McConaughey yet?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I've seen him though.
Well, he went to Texas?
He's a huge Texas guy.
Oh, yeah?
Like, he comes to a lot of games. There was a basketball game where he was in the burnt orange suit, and I swear to God, he was on the bench. I don't know if he called a play or two.
I saw him, but like, I was like 20 feet away from him, but we were both on the field at the Iowa State game, and I was definitely leg shaking a little bit, a little bit nervous.
Should just give him a bear hug, man. What the heck? Give him an all right.
I know, right?
That's awesome.
So you okay. When did you learn? How long ago did Archie Manning sign to Texas?
A month before I did.
A month before you did, so you knew that. Did that play a part any kind of way?
No, not at all. But afterwards, the realization was like, me and Arch, we always like throughout our entire recruitment, we tried so hard to match it up the whole Georgia.
That was my next question. Yeah, what is the relationship pre
Right. That's been one of my guys. Once, you know how like.
Where'd you first meet him?
Online.
Oh, okay.
And you know how like NBA players and all the NFL players, once you get to a certain realm, it's like certain classification. It's like those are the people that you're going to be around. Your guys, those are the guys now. So we've always talked consistently, and we tried so hard to make our recruitment match up. Like, we were looking at some of the same schools at first, and like, nah, Arch, I ain't messing with this school. All right, cool, boom. Looking at certain schools, looking at a different school, looking at other schools. So
that's pretty cool.
Towards the end, it's like we weren't looking at any of the same schools other than Alabama. So, and once I committed to Texas, we was like, this is the spot, bro. Like,
that's it. That's good. That's good. What I was gonna say, so you're gonna graduate high school early in December and get right on to Texas before the new year.
I'll probably. Well, we don't know if I'm moving in before the New Year's or right after the All-American Bowl. So
okay.
So you're in the All-American game? Is that being released? No?
His hat right there. He's giving it to you.
Oh, he's good. Okay. I hadn't seen that news. I don't know. I've been on social media. I haven't been.
Yeah, I committed to the Adidas All-American Bowl sophomore year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so are you in any others, or once you're in that one, you can't be in anything else? How does that go?
If you're in Under Armour, you could be in a different one, but Adidas is just the only one you could be in.
It's the only one you can be in.
Where's that game going to be played and when?
San Antonio at the Alamo Bowl, at the Alamo Dome on NBC January 7th at 6 p.m., I believe.
Okay. Is that one also sponsored by the U.S. Army or no?
It used to be.
Used to be. Now Adidas got it? Okay, I got you.
So you just talked about all the players in your classification. You guys kind of like, these are the guys. No matter where they go in their recruiting process, you know a lot of them, and you've seen a lot of them in these camps. Is there? So you're offensive lineman. Is there a defensive lineman that just gives you trouble in these camps? That like just one in particular that, like, I don't know, wherever, it's just his moves or whatever the case may be, just has given you a lot of trouble in camps?
No, sir.
No?
The only defensive lineman that's giving me trouble is projected top 5 pick this year at Georgia. So,
he's already at Georgia.
Yeah.
Which guy's that?
Jalen Carter.
Okay.
Yeah. And what is it about Jalen?
He's local, right?
He went to Apopka.
Okay.
He's projected to be the 3rd pick this year in the draft.
Shot APK.
Yeah. What about him and his style of play gives you difficulty?
I mean, I mean, I think you got to talk about everybody in the country.
Because he gives everybody.
Like, I don't know.
No, I get that, but I guess I'm kind of going down the lane of, like, I play a lot of basketball. There's certain guys that, like, they might not be better than another guy as a player, but they're just more difficult for me to guard.
I mean, in all honesty, he's just better.
Okay.
He's the most dominant player in college football and was the most dominant player in high school football. He was 3rd player overall in high school football, 3rd overall pick this coming year.
Nothing's changed. That's good.
I don't know if you remember NBA announcers used to say too big, too fast, too strong. It's just
Yeah.
That's just what it is. You know, like he picked up an Oregon offensive lineman with one arm and threw him. So
Now, how big a guy is he?
about 6'4", about 300 something with probably got like a six-pack by now, but
Yeah, it's probably shredded by now.
yeah.
And so you agree, like, just from a tactical standpoint, like there's just some ends, some defense ends. You just have to send help, no matter how good the offensive lineman is. Like, it's just some of these guys are just too big and too fast, right? Coming off the edge.
Absolutely.
Because I watch a lot of NFL more so than college, and some people are the reverse. But you're watching these games, you're watching your favorite teams, and it's just like this. These offensive line, whatever, they always blame the offensive line, but it's like, what is the coaching staff doing to help? Are they sending the back the chip or whatever? So what's your opinion on that?
I mean, you know, when you have a first round caliber guy and an offensive lineman of the same caliber, you know, somebody's gonna win reps at some point.
Right.
Offensive line, defensive line play is built for offensive linemen to win majority of those reps.
Oh yeah.
And you know, I feel like the way you're seeing it is you have 60 plays in the game, and that defensive lineman wins 5 reps, so he dominated.
And
that's fair to say. That's
right.
fair to say, yeah,
2 sacks, maybe 3 hurries. Yeah.
And for real.
And it's like that's domination.
And that
for real. I mean,
the same way defensive linemen are developing, like we've seen over the years, defensive ends go from small, like shorter and bigger, to taller,
longer,
and taller, longer, to taller, leaner, and longer.
Yeah.
So you have defensive linemen that are 280 pounds running like receivers off the edge. In the same way defensive linemen are changing, offensive linemen are changing as well. We have to be more athletic nowadays. You have to be able to beat that man to the spot, and you have to be able to play chess essentially. So, you know, offensive linemen are going to win majority of the reps.
Yeah.
It's a given.
No, that's true. You play 60 snaps. If a guy gets 2 sacks and a couple pressures, he had a great game.
Yeah.
You know, but
looking at the grand scheme, the offensive lineman
55 other plays.
Right.
He was not involved in the play.
Like, you know, I don't have to deal with anybody beating me 5 reps in a row in high school football, but you know, at the next level in practice, it very well can happen. You know, and if I'm gonna be going against the best in practice at Texas, then it's not gonna happen in the game. And you know, a lot of this is situational. You know. Sometimes you have 7-man protection, 6-man protection, 5-man protection, you know, and it's not always just one-on-one situation. So, and a lot of people think offensive linemen are just double-teaming defensive linemen, but that's really never the case. You know, they're usually chipping off to a backer.
Yeah. So now, you've talked to a lot of college coaches' technique and things like that. Like, how different or more advanced do you feel like from a technique and tactical standpoint is a college game going to be than where you're in high school?
I mean, the biggest difference between high school football and college football is the speed of the game. It's a whole different level of speed of the game, you know, and that's going to be the biggest adjustment for me, you know. And from a technique standpoint, you know, I have all the tools to be a Power 5 Division I starting offensive lineman, but you know, it's just about going in, getting with the nutritionist, hitting the program hard, hitting the conditioning hard, and all of that, getting adjusted to the speed of the game, and just learning how to be coached by a whole new staff.
When once you commit, does the school kind of try to put you on like an eating program or a weight program, or they just defer all that to whatever you're doing at this point, and they'll just get you when they get you?
I mean, it depends on the guy. You know, most guys, a lot of it is a test to see how motivated you really are. You know. See if you'll do it on your own before you get there. And it's a difference between like a guy getting there in July and a guy getting there in December.
For sure.
A guy getting there in December, they might not have to do too much of all of that with, because they're going to see him a week or 2 after his season is over. A guy that's enrolling in the summertime, you have 6 months roughly before they get there, and it's like, all right, we got to make sure you coming in ready to play. So
yeah.
You know, they give you conditioner lists and all of that, and you know they'll make suggestions at time, but a lot of it, what I'm going through right now, is a test. You know, see how bad I really want it.
Okay. Exactly. Quick question that has nothing to do with anything. I just thought about it just randomly. Okay, so you take quarterback DN, offensive tackle DN, linebacker running back, receiver cornerback. In your experience, where is the most trash talk coming from? Where is the most competitive trash talk coming from on the field?
On the outside.
Huh?
On the outside.
What do you mean? Oh, like wide receiver cornerback?
Yes.
Oh, yeah?
By far. Because they have the most time to, you know.
That's true.
Oh yeah,
Every run play is just them two locking up with each other, saying whatever they want to say, and you know those are the biggest egos on the football field.
They call the wide receivers the divas.
That's
for sure.
funny. That's true. That makes sense.
I wanted to get that in. Once again, you guys are on the bench podcast with Bubba and Pink. We have the big star lineman Payton Kirkland, who has committed to Texas Longhorns. What is that? That's like this, right?
Hook 'em.
Hook 'em, man. We hook 'em. We in here, man.
Yeah,
that's right. That's right. Really quick, we have to do this ad here because they're our first overall sponsor. We won't do the item of the week this week, but
in deference to Payton.
Yeah. But overking.com, don't you guys forget, you go to overking.com. They have all, and I do mean all, of your bedroom needs. You use promo code bubbapink, and you get them for a discount. All right, that is overking.com.
We still on air?
We are still on air. What you need to do? Bathroom?
I forgot to tell y'all something.
Go ahead. Tell us, man.
We're live. Let's go.
Yeah.
Mom texted me and reminded me the weirdest college coach I've ever come across is Harbaugh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We'll love a good Harbaugh story,
When you
man.
mentioned that, I was going to ask about him because he's got quite a reputation.
Oh, my gosh. It's terrible.
Yeah, because you didn't mention Michigan. You said Michigan State.
No, he said he went to Michigan on a visit.
Okay.
That's just such a blur in my mind. So we were in Chicago, and then we went up there so we can go to Michigan, Michigan State, then Ohio State, right? So we stop in Ann Arbor, right? We're there for I'm supposed to be in Michigan. I'm supposed to be in Ann Arbor early in the morning to midday-ish so we could drive to East Lansing to go to Michigan State. And I'm in Ann Arbor, showing me around and all of this, and it's time for my meeting with Harbaugh. I get in the meeting, he says, "What's going on? How you guys doing?" Big eyes, smiling the whole time. And doesn't say anything for 40 minutes.
What?
Barely says
Where
anything.
you guys are in a room right
in his
now?
office.
In his office.
He
Just you, him, and Mom.
Like this. And they know I'm on the way to Michigan State after that.
Yeah,
they know.
I feel like he's stalling.
Oh, that's crazy.
Instead of instead of telling me about the school and about how he runs his program, he talked to me about his first time getting hit in football. And he broke it down from the time his father got him cleats.
Really?
And after he finished his story, he was like, "Hey, y'all want to take a picture?" Not even a great to have you here, not even a, love to have you
He's
here.
probably hinging on his not celebrity status, but he has a status in football. He's clinging on to that. And,
I'm Jim Harbaugh.
You know what I mean?
And I ended up getting to Michigan State expeditiously late because of that.
Yeah.
And it was just so weird. The facilities were on point. School was on point.
Michigan State or Michigan? Which one?
Michigan State.
Okay,
Everything was on point to a T. Everything. Except for the head coach.
Oh, he's catching some hell right now. They haven't had a good year.
But you said
Michigan State.
Oh, Michigan State.
Wait, were you talking about Michigan or
I'm
Michigan?
talking about Michigan.
Oh, I'm sorry.
okay,
I'm sorry.
okay,
Gotcha.
okay.
Okay, I thought you said Michigan State.
Yeah, me too.
That's funny.
Okay, yeah, that's hilarious. But you wonder because guys like Harbaugh and there's another guy, what's the guy, Lane Kiffin? I always wonder how they are. And
I love Kiffin though.
You love Kiffin though?
Yeah.
Because he's another quirky guy, but maybe in a better way. Maybe in a
Well, what's he like in person?
Yeah, what is?
I mean, so he came to my school. I can't say it because he wasn't supposed to talk to me.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, man.
That's funny. But yeah, he's a hard guy to figure out. But
I mean, you see his Twitter. He's very active on Twitter. He's one of the few head coaches in college football that run their own Twitter page.
So most guys don't.
No. I know ours runs his page whenever we get a commitment, but other than that, not really.
Yeah. And it really, I mean, you're doing so much else, man. I'm just not surprised that they don't run their own account. You have to recruit, you have to coach, you have to, man, get somebody.
I don't
pay
know.
somebody.
It's just that weird. But again, now you're in the hands of somebody else who can tweet.
Well, you
out
have
some
to trust them, man.
ill-advised, stuff.
Yeah, you can pay.
If I'm gonna get in trouble for saying something, I hope it's me saying it, not somebody else.
Pay me, pay me 90 a year. I make sure you look good. You know,
I ain't paying you $90 a year.
with bonuses.
What would you get a bonus for?
Well, for you know,
DM slide-ins.
huh?
Slide in DMs.
Yeah.
No.
If he's a single man, I can get him some.
This
you know,
is my
extra.
burner account. Talk to me over here.
But that's ridiculous. It was ridiculous, though.
That is funny.
That was the weirdest experience I had.
Now, Peyton, you're not technically you're not a Florida guy, right? You know what I mean? So
Not at all. Not even technically.
right, not a Florida boy, but there is, you know, you're playing high school football here, and what a lot of fans in the state of Florida are trying to figure out is how the three big schools keep losing out on the Florida athletes. Do you have an opinion or maybe a comment on that on why? Because you got, especially here in Orlando, it's like a melting pot. You got University of Miami fans. Shout out to our editor Keys, and who was supposed to come out on the way at, and University of Gators, which I'm a fan of, and Pink actually went to Florida State, so of course he's a Florida State fan.
That's right.
And we all wonder, like, man, we keep missing out on all the top recruits.
It's because the biggest recruiting pitch is you're in the state of Florida, stay in the state of Florida. No. That's just not how it works. You know, me and my mom, we have a huge problem with kids from state of Florida staying in the state of Florida. And I don't know if you notice how all the top recruits that stay in the state of Florida, you might have 1, 2, or 3 or 4 that actually go big. And the reason being for that is because the guys, the 3 stars, the 2 stars, the guys that go out of state, the guys that's going to Kansas State and Iowa and, you know, North Carolina, those guys are one of one at those schools. You know, you get a bunch of guys, well, I'd say majority of guys on these Florida schools rosters are from Florida. And it's like everybody that commits to them nowadays is just, you just going to sit behind another version of yourself. There's not a you in Illinois. There's not a you in Nebraska. There's not a you in Syracuse, New York. Like there's not a you on the West Coast. There's not a you in Utah. Like, and they go sit behind each other and wasting their talent, you know? Like, how many times do you see a guy transfer from a Florida school that's from Florida and go have success out of state? All the time.
Yeah.
Right.
It's because there's no one else like him at that school, you know?
And you think that's starting to become a part of the consensus thinking now behind the athletes?
Some kids get it, but a lot of them don't.
Yeah.
I mean, we have about 5 guys in Orlando going to a Florida school to play college football. So
Yeah, I mean, I also feel just the fact that the Florida schools have not been in contention in a while. And a lot, if you go back over maybe a 10-year window, like how many of the really good Alabama players have been from Florida?
A lot.
Quite a few.
A lot.
You know, and Ohio State, like the Boza brothers and those guys, like they're Florida guys.
So how much does winning actually play a part into these people, to these guys recruiting? Because on the outside, we look at it as, okay, why does this guy want to go to Alabama? Sort of like what you were just saying. It's like, you know, he's going 5 stars at his position is at Alabama. Why is he going to Alabama? Why are we losing this guy to Alabama?
You can answer, but the one thing that I would look at is those guys are going to the league. Like they're putting the most guys in the league. And you look at a guy like Mac Jones who sat behind other guys, got one year as a starter, and that was enough to be a first-round pick.
Yeah.
You know.
At Alabama, at the Alabamas of the world, like other country, like you're gonna get on the field. If you're handling your business, you're being disciplined. All of that is on you. Whether you touch the field in college or not is based off of you. No one else controls that because the college coaches are gonna put the best 11 on the field at all times. There's not gonna be any favoritism or anything in college. It's not like that. There's no sugarcoating anything. It's a business, you know. Their families depend on it. So if you're one of those best 11 players on your side of the ball, you're gonna touch the field. Even if you're not one of those best 11 players until your senior year, you're gonna go to that. You're gonna go to the NFL because you started on the Alabama football team and actually contributed.
Yeah, there was a guy. I don't know what state he's from, but there was a guy who started at Florida State. Landon Dickerson, he was there for a couple years, always seemed to get injured. One of the best lines ever when the transfer portal first came out, he announced he was going into the portal, and one of the FSU people was like, did he injure himself entering the portal? But he ended up going to Alabama, was on a title team, became I think a late first-round pick, and 1 year of productivity at Alabama changes everything.
And another thing that plays into that is I genuinely do feel like the level of play at these Florida schools, and the reason it's been down lately, is because everything is contagious nowadays. Like, you have one bad apple, it's a bad bunch. You go to Alabama, there's no room for there's no room to slack off. There's no room to not go 1,000%.
Team culture wise,
right?
And, okay.
There's no room for you to not go 100% in practice every day because the person across from you is a first rounder as well, or is a 4th, 7th round pick as well. Everyone around you has the potential to play in the NFL. So, that level of play, I feel like it's easy for guys to play down to the level of their competition. That's why some guys, they don't look that good against bad teams, and they look like a superstar against great teams. It's because they raise their level of play depending on who they're playing.
Exactly.
No, I agree with that. I mean, from a developmental environment, being really good against good as much as possible, and even if you're going to come in as a freshman, you might be on one of the second, third team things, and you're going to be working against first unit guys that are potentially NFL bound.
Right.
And that's going to accelerate your ability to get better.
And if you think about it like this, there's no room for you to have mess ups in your technique, any type of slack in speed, any type of miss hand placement when you're going against someone of the same caliber of player as you. When you're going against a kid that's at a lower caliber than you, you may tend to get lazy because you may just tend to get by. Just do what it takes to get by because they're not gonna get by you and all of that. So you're just gonna do what gets you there, gets the job done.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point.
No, it is. It is. Let's get to some of these the comments made by some of these the fan bases when you chose Texas over their favorite school. So what? Just in general. So what happened is, so when you made your announcement that you were going to the University of Texas. So basically, all of these fans of these different fan bases, they started to mention you on Twitter or direct message you?
I'll kind of explain a little bit because I'm a Florida State guy, and so what tends, if you're an active on social media and you follow your team pretty closely, you're going to realize, we're recruiting this player, that player. If they have a social media, you might follow it and see, catch some highlights, see what this guy's all about. So you're kind of connected to these people. And as things get wound down and you're ultimately going to pick one school, you're inevitably probably have a bunch of people following you from these other schools that were hopeful that you were going to go there.
Right.
And then bang, here we go.
And I feel like a lot of you become sort of a celebrity to the people that follow recruiting.
That's what I was saying.
Right.
Exactly.
You become sort of a celebrity to those people, and they kind of fall into the notation that you're a celebrity, and they think that you'll never see that. In all honesty, celebrities see everything that they get,
Yeah.
And, not saying that we are celebrities because that's the last thing I am,
All right.
as a celebrity. I'm just a kid that has dreams and aspirations to play at the next level and do big things with his life. But, I feel like they feel like they can say whatever behind the screen, And I was very interactive with fan bases during my recruitment. So, I had 5 crystal balls to 5 different schools. So I had 5 analysts thinking I was going to 5 different schools.
Okay.
That's just I showed love to everybody. They showed love to me. Why not show love back? And, people start getting a little bit attached to it and all of that. And, people tend to say things they don't mean. So, and when you're behind the phone screen, you know how it is. Arguing with somebody over text message versus in person.
Yeah.
Say you're arguing with your girl over text message versus in person. Behind the phone, she's 6'8", 330, with 2 pistols.
With 2 pistols.
And on the phone screen, she's a toddler.
Yeah.
In person, she's a toddler.
That's funny. That's too funny.
Nah, that's hilarious.
So were you braced to see some of the comments you got, or it surprised you?
Not at all. I got death threats.
Wow.
That's crazy.
From fans, for what? It kind of got to my head a little bit, and it made me think a little bit. I was a little bit paranoid and all of that. And people telling me they hope I tear my ACL. They say F your family. I hope your mom gets cancer and all of this. They just start coming at you for anything possible. I hope you tear your ACL, fat kid, and all of that. They do too much.
Way too much.
But at the end of the day, you gotta realize it's the profession that you're walking into.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Once you realize that, I mean, the rest is just you just throw it away, man. It's just I don't know. It's just funny because I Pink knows I'm a fan of all fandom for my teams, and I just
You are to a disturbing level.
Yeah, but not. I never even think about that. Doesn't even I don't know enter my mind because what if like there's some people like some guys there are some 5-star recruits who go and they don't pan out for whatever reason. Then what? I mean, you what are you now relieved that he didn't come to your school? I mean, after you just
Probably are.
said all that about him to him,
Probably
like
they are. Yeah.
that's crazy. You know?
Yeah. Now, I don't, on the recruiting side, I don't get it. Now, I get most agitated, like, actually watching the game and guys making mistakes in games.
Yeah.
That'll drive me nuts. I'll jump off the couch yelling. I'm not going to, like, go to Twitter and, send a message to somebody or tag him in something.
How did you miss that tackle? He was right there.
I'll just be in my house going, are you freaking kidding me?
And I feel like
Why do we have a kicker on our team?
it's hilarious.
Couldn't kick his own ass.
You know, I posted a video the other day where it's just like handing the person saying all of this shoulder pads and helmet in the football. Like, okay.
Oh, I gotta see that.
Okay. Let's be real here.
I like
if
that.
me of all people is missing this tackle or missing this block,
Right.
what in the world make you think
You
that,
could do
that you
better?
about to go out there and do the same thing?
Yeah, that's
it,
true.
It
That's
happens, you know.
Yeah.
It happens. Yeah, I get frustrated too watching college football, but I know I'm not making an open field tackle against Najee Harris or
Yeah.
or Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
That monster, man.
That is funny. There is a level. I mean, like again, when you talk like the pro game, even a high level college game, it's like part of it is like hey, you've trained all your life to do this,
Right.
but sometimes there's situations like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this guy? Like,
Right. And it happens. People make mistakes in the game. I've made mistakes in the game and all of that.
Yeah.
People watch the game. Why aren't we running the ball? Why aren't we throwing the ball? It's a scheme. It's chess. It's not checkers.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
every missed tackle, we're gonna run for missed tackles in practice, but it's a punishment to it. But if you ain't never did an up down in your life, there's no reason you should be talking about somebody missing a tackle.
All right, let's go to one of our favorite segments here, which is Start a Bench with Coach Pink.
Oh yeah.
And what we're gonna do, we give Pink up to 60 seconds to first we let him see if he's gonna start a bench, the actual topic, and then we give him 60 seconds to talk about it. Then afterwards, Peyton, we can judge his comments and responses to these topics here. All right. Let's get it going. I'm gonna get my clock ready. Once again, you guys are on the bench podcast with Bubba and Pink. All righty. So Pink, we have let's go here. In NBA starter bench.
Just the end of the league in total?
Yeah.
It's basketball season. Let's get a start.
All right. So there are a lot of surprises this year so far. I'm not so sure if you think, but Milwaukee is undefeated so far, the Milwaukee Bucks. That's not so much of a surprise, but you have Cleveland sitting only with one loss. Our guy, Donovan Mitchell, a guy, like you said, you've been sort of critical of. He's been playing very well. You have, in the other conference, you got Portland with only one loss. You got Utah, who's supposed to be a tanking team. They're supposed to be tanking for our guy, Wembanyama. They only have 2 losses. San Antonio Spurs are supposed to be tanking. They only have 2 losses. What do you say about all of these surprises, and should they keep it going or shut it down?
They're the surprises you mentioned on the positive side, there's a lot of teams. I think the Warriors have a losing record right now.
Yes.
Obviously, Brooklyn and the Lakers have been terrible.
Right.
A big part of me is just saying, hey, let's see where everything is at the 15-game mark.
Okay.
When we get a chunk of this, and it's enough of a sample size to say, hey, these teams are moving in this direction, or they're really struggling. So I've spent this as many people, just surprised by some of the scores and results, but I've kind of cautioned myself. Just let's get a little further into this and see. I don't want to get too excited and before we know it, the Trailblazers are 6-9. Stuff like that.
Yeah, but we love our guy Ant though.
We do.
Love
Even
our guy
if he's
Anthony
6-9.
Anthony Simons. That's right. Even if.
Pedro's posse veteran. He is.
Yeah, he is. No, for sure. Let's go. Deshaun Watson started bench.
Oh God, I guess they're gonna start him at some point. Let's go.
So the head coach has come out and said that Deshaun is definitely starting December 4th. That's his first game. He's going to be available. All right. And we got your mom Dukes. We're gonna ask him as soon as we come back out of this segment. What do you think about that? Him starting, Deshaun Watson starting exactly when he gets off break.
Financially, they have to. They paid him all that guaranteed money not to sit on the bench and maybe let Jacoby Brissett finish the season well and have a quarterback controversy. They paid that guy all that guaranteed money. They rode through all the public flack of the suspension. You have to play him. You have to see what's going on.
All right. Trey Songz started bench.
I have a little bit of rant on this one, but go ahead.
You have a rant?
A little bit.
Oh, okay. Well, Trey Songz back in the news again for another. Well, basically, it's this previous one is the same. It's a rape civil case that has been dismissed due to statute of limitations, of course. So
now this was a civil case.
Too much time has elapsed. Yes, because the criminal got the criminal didn't go anywhere either. But this is about his fifth or sixth situation, whether it's a civil case or criminal that has come up against Trey Songz.
Yeah, how do you blow a statute of limitations? That's just horrible.
For the court system.
No, I'm a lawyer. I know what it is.
No. I'm saying
whoever's responsible for that did a horrible job. Like you can't blow. That's like one of the things is that you can't blow that. It's like a rule. It's like you have this many years to file the suit. To this day, like you just don't blow that.
Yeah.
It's not making a tackle at Najee Harris in the open field. It's in black and white. Get your ass to the courthouse before this day with a complaint. So that's shocking. But I guess like Trey Songz, I remember hearing a couple years ago, he just does some really horrible stuff to the women, and I haven't heard it articulated. Like, what is this guy doing? It's so different.
Yeah.
I mean, R. Kelly peed on people. Like, is he dropping brown showers? Where are we going with this?
No, they've said some things.
Some details.
They said some things.
Enlighten me, Bubba.
So one of the R&B women, I forget her name, but her name is actually in this article. She helped out in this particular case, saying that she was at a party, and Trey. This story is actually light. She said they were at a party. Trey Songz tried to shoot like a video. It was like some type of lingerie type party. And but it was a video shoot, but he didn't tell her about it. Okay. Right? So she had to hide in the closet.
So a lingerie party that he hijacks into a video shoot.
Yes.
Without their knowledge.
Right.
And she had to hide in a closet.
Yeah, but hold on. That's just one. Two, but the other women have said he tried to like rape them. It's rape allegations. It's not like crazy like peeing or doodling on chicks.
Okay.
It's just actual, just plain old.
And he hasn't been like arrested for any of these?
No, man.
What's going on there? That's interesting. What's his move though?
I don't know. Maybe money. Maybe he's just
no. I'm saying like everybody's got a move. Like, what is his rape move?
Oh, I don't know.
Does he work a date rape in? Is he driving?
Is
he driving
a
windowless van? Is he
no,
telling them he's gonna make their music career something special?
Anthony Davis started bench.
He needs to be on the bench and not this show.
All right.
He's the biggest vagina in the
NBA. Charles Barkley, Kyrie Irving started bench.
I'll go with that. Together?
Yeah.
Recording a demo?
No.
Okay. So
Charles Barkley said on the TNT broadcast that Kyrie Irving should have been suspended for the I think it was a tweet or IG post that he put out about that movie, just saying go watch this movie.
I tried to get some information about this movie. I wasn't exactly clear on what the actual anti-Semitic elements are, and in some of the stuff I read, it doesn't seem super clear.
Yeah.
And so, if you're simply promoting, go watch this movie. Like I don't. That seems an overreaction to suspend a guy. maybe you ask some questions, like, just being irresponsible if that's what it is, and he should have to answer for it, explain what his thoughts were. I don't have an issue with that, but I don't see suspending a guy over that.
All right, time. And last one, we have the Chiefs' former assistant coach, Brit Reid, Andy Reid's son, finally got sentenced to a 3-year prison sentence for drunk driving. The little girl that he hit, she has permanent brain damage, and he got 3 years for driving drunk and hitting the little girl.
Yeah, that seems pretty light to me. I think under the circumstances, it should be maybe 7 to 10.
That's it?
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
It is what it is. He's guilty. Like, we're not arguing over that, and I just think the sentence is pretty light.
What do you think about any of those topics, Peyton? We got the NBA surprises. You got Anthony Davis. Let's get to the ones we missed really quick. Anthony Davis was just talking about he's proud of Westbrook for accepting the bench role. He's been playing well. So we have the NBA surprises. You got Deshaun Watson's going to be coming back. You got Trey Songz, and you got hold on, we might have missed one here.
What did we miss?
Looks like we missed Kevin Durant.
Okay, what did Kevin Durant have to do?
Kevin Durant was saying he was shocked and surprised when Nash was let go. He was taking a nap, and that's when I heard the news.
I don't know. That seems a little disingenuous.
It is.
But Sean Marks went out of his way to say that the players were not consulted with this decision. So I guess you could just say this. He might have been surprised that it happened that day, and there is very little precedent for somebody being fired on game day.
Yeah.
And so they won the day before or whatever it was. So I mean, if it's just a simple surprise that I'm shocked it happened today on game day after we won, I get that, but you just feel that team's been going nowhere, and somebody's heads. I mean, we kind of talked about he's the guy to go, Nash, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
They're just not winning, not playing well, not playing together. So something had to give, and he was the easiest part to move.
Yeah. You agree with that?
Yeah, I do.
Pretty much. Does that make you a Nets fan, or you just like to follow KD? You just been a KD guy?
I mean, I'm not a KD guy at all.
You're not?
Not a KD guy at all.
Not even close.
Really?
Oh, man.
Who's your guy in the NBA?
My guy?
Yeah.
Derrick Rose.
Derrick Rose? Big fan of bench guys?
I was always the biggest fan of Derrick Rose. Without the ACL injuries, he's a top 5 guard of all time, in my opinion.
Okay.
Youngest MVP in league history,
You're in that window, man, where you gotta pick another guy. I had to do that, man. Iverson was my guy, and towards the end, I had to scour the land, man, and I had to pick another guy.
I told you I'm about loyalty.
You're gonna ride him right out of the league.
You're gonna ride him to China, man, with Marbury.
If that's what it is, that's what I gotta do.
Yeah. I feel you though, man. I tell people, I think people just forget. Like, oh man, John Morant's way better than Rose ever was. Like, hold on, just chill, man. You guys not remember what Rose was doing? Like, what are we doing? Just look up YouTube. I mean, it's on everybody's phones.
All right, 2 questions. Do you have a guy in waiting? Like a guy that when Derrick Rose retires, there's a guy. I'm a fan of this guy. I like what he does.
My guy's not in the NBA yet. He going to Duke next year.
Who? Sean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sean, that's what?
Sean
DP?
Stewart.
Oh, Sean Stewart. I don't know.
He's
Sean.
at Montverde now.
Oh, he's at Montverde. Okay. Yeah, I don't know
But
Sean yet.
Yeah, he's gonna go to Duke.
I don't know Sean.
I do
year.
gotta start liking Kevin Durant a little bit more.
Okay.
Texas all the way.
Yeah. That
You
is
know,
that.
I mean, I still think he's the best player in the NBA.
Yeah, you told us that off air. Yeah.
So he's by far the best player in the NBA. I told you that earlier. Like, there's no stopping Kevin Durant. I told you that earlier.
Until he gets stopped, and then that's what I want to know.
He got stopped against the Celtics.
But people say
year.
that so much. It's not just you, Peyton. People say that, like, people who get paid millions of dollars to talk on TV say, like, he's so unstoppable. But unstoppable, like, until he gets stopped, like, and we all saw it. And then, like, it's like, what then? I mean,
whether I'm a fan or not, I could just be honest and tell you that, not everybody. LeBron's gotten shut down before, but people not seeing LeBron not really like that. I mean, Kevin Durant is arguably, if not the best player in the NBA when it comes to a skill level and a domination standpoint. He even said it himself, 5 people guarded him every game.
And watch his turnovers. That was an interesting comment. I thought. What the other thing I was going to say? Well, wait, I did have another.
Keith said, "Let's not overrate D Rose, please."
Yeah.
What you gonna say, Pete?
Now I can't remember what the hell I was going to say. It was an NBA thing.
She said something about KDA is the shoe sponsor for Texas and a Texas alum.
Yeah,
That's
Texas
what's up.
connection
Yes.
there.
Okay.
Texas connection there. God, I can't remember the last thing I was going to say though.
Oh.
Oh no. Okay. So Derrick Rose. So we always hear players are better today than they were in the past, etc. What is the span of a generational argument?
I would say era more so.
Well, okay, but you look at a player like LeBron. Like, has he extended through multiple eras?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, he's extended through multiple eras for sure.
So
but
what do we estimate an era to be? Like roughly a decade?
Yeah, roughly. But I like to describe it by players and not years, right? So like instead of saying whatever the 2000s, I say T-Mac, Iverson, Kobe era. Like I don't know how long that lasted, but that's an era for me.
Yeah. The reason why I bring it up is like you look at LeBron. Like okay, he comes in 2004, three or four.
Yeah.
And he's playing against a certain crop of guys, like a lot of guys you're mentioning or whatever. And he's super young, super athletic, whatever. And now we go literally 20 years.
Yeah.
And he's, getting numbers and buckets against a completely different group of people.
Yeah.
And
it's Ja Morant's era.
And it's, how do we kind of equate all that?
I mean, like, think about this. The people that he's going against were the kids watching him growing up.
Yeah.
Oh, it's insane for sure.
For sure.
I mean, he is an ancient artifact at this point. But,
but do we say but the guy you brought, Derrick Rose? Derrick Rose, do we consider that his prime, although it was short, a different era than Ja Morant?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
But we can equate the players as being similar.
Yeah. Similar
No.
playing style.
I don't-
We got
I
top
would-
5 all time.
I would top 5 guard of all time. Yeah. Okay. Top 5 true point guard of all time. Yeah. I wouldn't compare Ja Morant to Derrick Rose though.
Oh,
You wouldn't?
Lord.
Oh wow.
I just wouldn't.
I think it's a pretty good comparison, but
Yeah, I can't draw anything else because of athleticism.
Athleticism is one thing, but Derrick Rose is Derrick Rose, man.
Yeah, so man.
Derrick Rose got
MVP.
locked up by LeBron like a JV player, and that
was
MVP
that was
season.
the best version of LeBron
I agree with
we've
you.
ever seen.
I agree.
So it's like,
That's prime LeBron.
I know, absolutely.
super prime. It
And
doesn't get
he
more prime.
clamped up KD.
Yeah. And then he went to was guarding centers and power forwards that year. Like he was just crazy. And that's the year they robbed him on Defensive Player of the Year too. He came second, but
To who?
The center. Yeah, Gasol. To Marc
okay,
Gasol.
okay.
Same year Marc Gasol won it.
Yeah.
But
Marc Gasol.
yeah, he won
He's so
Defensive Player of the
slow.
Year that year. But LeBron was all first NBA team and Gasol wasn't. So that was like, how did you win Defensive Player of the Year but you're not even first team?
Yeah, that's crazy.
But yeah. No, that's good. That's good.
All right, your mom wants to know, what are you looking most forward to going to college?
Yes.
I say the schedule.
The schedule.
And specifically the Texas. I mean,
Like
it's
your
just-
day-to-day itinerary?
Okay, not
Yeah.
game
Not the
schedule.
football
Okay,
schedule.
okay, okay.
The structure.
Okay.
The structure, the discipline of it.
They already told you like what to look forward to, like as far as day-to-day.
I mean, you already get a feel for it. Once you're on these visits, you kind of they break it down to you and all of that, and you know what to expect when you get there. But you don't at the same time. And other than that, is being taught by Kyle Flood, the offensive line coach. He's one of the best to ever do it. So just getting in that system, working my way up from the bottom to the top is kind of what I'm most excited about.
Now, the schedule that you get, there's not a lot of free time, is there?
No, not at all.
With classes and
Meetings and weightlifting and all that other stuff. Yeah.
It's a full time. It's an all day job. And I mean, a 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. type of thing.
That's why like I'm a big proponent of if you look at people and I don't care what sport you played, but if you're hiring people for jobs, you want to look to people that played college sports.
Oh, yeah.
Because they, whether it's tennis or football or whatever, they've had to exist in such a structured environment and function at a high level in that. It's not analogous at all to what, I did as a regular student. I had no classes before 9:30 or 10. I got done with class by 1 o'clock. I went to the gym for as many hours as I, played basketball. Then I ate food, and I either had an intramural game or I drank and chased pussy. That was the schedule. That's not very taxing.
Hey, you had more on your schedule than I had on mine.
Really? What else you
Two of those things. You figure out which it was. But
drinking and chasing pussy?
No, but yeah, seriously, as a recruiter, I'm a recruiter. So, yeah, we look for military and, college sports. People play college sports because, the schedules and the structure. Like you said structure earlier. Those are the two words that one word that we look for is for sure in candidates.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
Definitely.
Now, another thing I wanted to talk about here was, of course, the hip-hop world lost a artist there, Takeoff from the Migos, right? And us being a sports, music, entertainment show, we've been following Jackson State lately, and we're going to get to your brief experience with them and unofficially there. But Deion addressed his team because that happened in Houston, and they are actually playing in Houston this weekend. So here goes Deion addressing his team there.
I'm just sick and tired of the consistency of people that are influential to you are leaving us consistently. That's our rappers. Takeoff was murdered in a dice game in Houston, where we're going. So that eliminates all y'all leaving that hotel, because it ain't happening until I give you further notice. So whatever her name is, whoever she is, parents, everybody, they're going to come to the hotel to visit you because y'all ain't leaving. I'm just sick and tired of the consistency of people that are influential to you are leaving us consistently. That's our rappers. Takeoff was murdered in a dice game in Houston, where we're going. So that eliminates all y'all leaving that hotel, because it ain't happening until I give you further notice. So whatever her name is, whoever she is, parents, everybody, they're going to come to the hotel to visit you because y'all ain't leaving.
Right there. So Deion's addressing his team, telling me, you're just not leaving the hotel. You're just not happening, man. What do you think about, like, is that overprotecting? Is that doing too much, or is it the right thing to do right now?
I like what Deion's about. I do think that that's a little overprotective at this point. I mean, certainly you don't want your players out at 2 a.m. in dice games. But, I mean, like, you're going to be at a hotel, like somebody to go to a mall or something like that. I don't know that that's, should be off limits if you have an hour or two spare time. I mean, that just seems a little restrictive. But, I mean, I get the point that he's trying to do. And I saw a larger version of that speech, and he's talking about, if you want to be special, you have to separate yourself from a lot of stuff that's easy and affordable to you. Not affordable financially, but just with your time and your energy. And that's not the pathway to being special and exceptional. And so to make those decisions to protect yourself and do what's in your best interest, is an important part of that speech. And I'm just literally on board with about everything he's doing at this point. And, he's really a voice for the generation.
Yeah. What do you think about that situation in Deion and
I mean, I feel like he's doing the right thing completely. Keeping, like, what is an hour or two of free time and fun gonna do for you compared to actually coming and winning the championship and focusing on the task at hand and all of that.
Right.
It's not very worth it. And about hitting on the separation aspect. I myself I don't hang out. I don't go places. I don't go out. I have two friends, Sean Stewart and Jalen, and you know, we see each other every few months, if that. So
Yeah.
And those are all guys in their own way on a path similar to yours.
right.
Yeah, they're not doing nothing.
If you see, you know, you see the guys that aren't on that track, you know, and it's all about surrounding yourself with people like you.
Yeah,
know,
like-minded individuals.
Right. And you know, the separation aspect, it kind of took my game to a different level at the same time, you know, because how you do anything is how you do everything. You know, my mom always preaches that even when it comes down to cleaning my room. So,
Say that one more time.
Are you upholding the standard in cleaning your room?
you know, I'm getting there though. I've been doing it lately. You know, over the years, I've been getting better. So
there you go. There's like one of those military guys gave a great speech. It's like if you start your day by making your bed, when you get out of it, it's like you've already accomplished something.
Right.
And it's like then your day just builds accomplishments after that. I mean, there's a lot of good psychological stuff in that lane. Now, I was gonna say like for you, I mean, like you're in this exact window of people that Deion is, you know, attracting to potentially go to Jackson State. Did you pay attention to what he was doing there? Did you consider Jackson State in any way at any point in your process?
no.
Okay.
I didn't, you know. If I was a receiver or a defensive back, yes.
Okay.
As a skill player, you can take that risk. You can take that hit of the drop-off in competition level, the drop-off in, you know, well, it's not even a drop-off in coaching because you have one of the greatest to ever do it, coaching you at that position, you know. Being in the SECs and the Big 12s and the Big 10s and the Pac-12s, you know. As an offensive lineman or a defensive lineman, you just can't take that risk, you know.
Okay.
It's the physicality, the speed of the game, the tempo of the game. You know, I guarantee you put Jackson State in the field with Texas, you'll see what happens. You know, it's a different intensity. It's a different, you know, and it's not going to be on the outsides. It's going to be
It's in the trenches. That's what I say
scrimmage.
that every time. I say that every time. I say that I told Pink I went to go see it. I went to go watch Jackson State versus Bethune, and I said it. I said, man, you know, the receivers and DBs, they may be, but it's in the trenches. It's the linemen. Like, I can see the size difference. I can see their skill level. It's just a difference, and the gap.
And Deion said as much himself.
And he said as much
himself. As far as if he wants to try to compete with some Power 5 schools, he's not there in the trenches.
That's why he's holding off and scheduling those teams. What do you think is the biggest? I'm trying to think of the right word, but the biggest gap, the biggest for HBCU schools, the biggest challenge as far as bringing in better recruits. You hinted at a couple of things, but I just want you to go ahead and say it. What do you think the biggest challenge is?
I mean, you're nagging at decades and decades of high school recruits going, 2 decades of high school recruits going to PWIs, you know.
Right.
And that's where all the competition is. That's where all the NFL scouts are going, you know.
Right.
For HBCUs to really work out the way that they want it to work out, every top recruit in the country is going to have to come to an agreement. All right, this is where we're going. We're the people that's coming out. We're who the NFL is looking at. So now they're going to have to come to the HBCUs to find us.
Yeah.
Almost like a player empowerment movement.
Right.
Almost beyond the schools.
Beyond the schools.
There's nothing that the schools can do to do that, you know. It has to be a mutual recruit agreement. If 50 recruits go there, if the top 50 players in the country all go to HBCUs, they're going to be forced. They're going to be forced to go and look at the HBCUs.
The NFL recruits and things like that. Recruiters, yeah.
So right now, if
that's a great point.
If you don't have to do that, you know, you can go to Coastal Carolina or anywhere else, and they're just going to be there already. You know,
right.
It kind of defeats the purpose. You know, I get it. You know, supporting our people and all of that, but you know, you got to make a decision for you.
Yeah, and you and your family.
Right.
Of course.
I mean, making a decision for you and your family also helping out the black community if you think about it, to be honest.
Yeah. No.
So,
being upstanding. What do you specifically, what do you admire anything about what Deion's doing, and where do you think that could go? Because Pink has a thing about it can't just be Jackson State. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? All the other HBCUs will have to eventually have success recruiting top recruits. It just can't be Jackson State or this cause to be off.
Yeah, my kind of point on that is that if Jackson State continues to recruit it at a higher level than the rest of the HBCUs, and the majority of the games are bad football games. It's not helping anybody, and I think it becomes a bit of a dead end.
He needs a few Power 5 wins under his belt.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that.
And it's going to take him to be able to leave Jackson State and build an empire at a PWI. I feel like very easily he could take what he's doing at a PWI and bring that, at Jackson State, and bring that same culture to a PWI, because here's the thing. Every single football program in the country is a reflection of their head coach, from the top to the bottom. I promise you, it's kind of weird. So he brings that same mentality, that same players he's recruiting and all of that. He brings those same type of guys into PWI, and he's there for more than 5 years. It very well could start changing things, and I feel like it'll start spreading out in those areas at first, and there's not that many black head coaches, Right. I feel like the closest thing to it, HBCU in college football right now is Michigan State.
How many like coordinators do they that's what you're speaking to? They have a lot of black coordinators.
The head coach is black.
Yeah.
Literally he coaches them like a black man. He teaches them like a black man. Some of the players don't have fathers. He's their father
and
figure.
He's their father figure.
He literally has lotion bottles all around the facilities because he made sure that every single black man in there knows you're not going to be ashy around that program. I promise you.
Is the majority of his staff black as well?
It's about 50%.
50, okay.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I mean it, like, he takes all of this, he takes everything little seriously. Like, he's teaching them how to be black men rather than just,
right.
ball players. So, and I feel like he's the closest thing to a Deion in the PWI realm right now.
That's awesome.
Do you think at some level, because they are PWIs for a reason, that some schools would be reluctant to bring in Deion?
No.
You don't think so at all?
Not at this point. Like Auburn fired their coach. I don't think it's a coincidence that Deion goes on 60 Minutes. They mention Auburn. You mentioned something about the head coach, the trouble being there brewing.
No, he was a bad fit. He came from like Boise State,
right.
Just never fit into like Southern football culture. And
I just personally,
fit.
I don't think it's a coincidence that happens, and a week later they fire their coach instead of just letting the season ride out. I think they're going to go after him hard. And once that opens up, I think other schools are going to start making moves to go at them as well. And I think it's mostly because of what he's shown at Jackson State. Because remember, before Jackson State, he wanted to become a coach, and he voiced that. And really, it was the PWIs that didn't want to give him an opportunity, chance.
Correct.
They were like, hey, we'll bring you in as a DB or receivers coach or an assistant receivers DB coach, but there's no way we can give you an opportunity as a head coach or assistant coach.
Right.
And so he's like, okay, well, I'm going to show you. I'll go over here and build my thing. And I think now he's shown himself. He's proven himself. Okay, I'm committed. I know how to coach. I can coach, and I can recruit, which you should have known that in the first place. I'm Deion. I come sit in the living room. That guy's probably coming to me.
I guess here's the question that I look at. If he ends up going to a PWI, how selective does he need to be?
Very.
In the sense. But, and here's why I say that. There are certain, money schools that win a lot in college football, PWI schools. Deion is building a brand that's a little different than that.
Yeah.
Does he feel that like he could put that brand in some place that's not in the top 5 of the arms race and get there anyway? Does he have that level of belief in himself?
It's a good question. I mean, we don't know the direct answer to that.
Yeah.
But it is a good question. Like I said, I'm in the camp. I'm rooting for him to stay.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for him to stay. I just don't think there's that big of a impact that he can make at a PWI versus the impact that he can continue to make at Jackson State. It's just, if you go to an Auburn, I guess that's big impact. If you go to Auburn, but Auburn has won before, it would almost have to be a school that's down in the doldrums. You know what I mean? And
well, that's
what
I'm saying. How selective is he?
Yeah.
Because I'll stand by this. I'm pretty certain Kirby Smart could have left Alabama before he took the Georgia job.
Yeah.
But he played his cards right to me because he went to Georgia and they became a contending team right away. Like they backed him, and he had the talent to do it.
Out of school
like,
that had a good recruiting base and everything.
But there's a ton of guys that take jobs that like, they're at a big school, they leave there, and then it's like it's
the guy that was at UCF, Scott, right?
Scott Frost went back to Nebraska.
What a terrible god awful idea that was.
Yeah, now
I
he's.
mean, you look at Heupel. You see what Heupel's doing.
Well,
in
Heupel's done
Tennessee.
the other thing in Tennessee. That's the other.
He's done the reverse almost.
He's killing it
Talking
in
about
Tennessee.
Heupel,
Yeah.
They number one team in the country.
Exactly.
right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, it can work, but it may not. And Tennessee is that is an awesome example because that's almost what I'm talking about. Yeah, taking a school like that, it hasn't won in a long time.
But Auburn could fit in that category.
And
I mean,
I can vouch
Auburn
for
won
Texas.
more
I can
recent.
vouch for Texas the exact same way.
Texas, yeah, well, yeah.
And our head coach came
with
from,
Charlie and all those guys.
Our head coach came from Alabama. You know.
Okay.
yeah.
And he was the year before last, he was the assistant coach at Alabama.
Yeah.
And Texas is a program that has been down for a little while, but
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know it's a winning program. And
What do you think they're gonna fall at as far as recruiting class?
right now, we're at number 2.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Only
Yeah.
school we're behind is Alabama right now
Wow.
in recruiting.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're up
I
there.
mean, we have the number 1 player overall on every single site. So
Yeah.
and
That'll help.
Wait, who's the number 1 player overall?
Archie Manning,
Arch.
Oh, Arch is the number 1 overall.
Yeah,
Okay.
you better be.
everywhere.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay.
He's the second highest rated recruit of all time.
Wow.
Really? Who's
Is
top?
Luck number 1?
Let me look. I
Maybe.
can actually just look for you right now.
I don't know. I just guessed because it was so much
Yeah.
hype
fanfare
around
about
Luck
him.
around the time.
Yeah, but like Texas is a school that they have money.
They have resources,
facilities.
man. Yeah.
Tennessee's that way too, to a degree.
To a degree.
See, Nebraska was like a fading power. Like
It was just a god awful idea for him to go.
yeah. They don't have.
It would have
a lot of
meant
in-state
more
players.
for him to stay at UCF, the track that they were on. Like it would have just meant more if you just kept improving on that track and see where that goes. And I think
Yeah.
that could be the same thing for Deion.
The number 1 recruit of all time is Jadeveon Clowney.
Oh, okay.
Oh, shit,
Yeah. That's right. Okay.
You talk about a man child. That was a monster.
Yeah.
Oh man.
When he
was
knocked
a
that dude's
monster.
helmet off. In
Oh,
Michigan,
man.
yeah, that was-
That's the only thing I can see in my head.
It's the only thing.
When it comes to Texas, our head coach always preaches the pride and winning tradition of Texas will not be, given to the weak nor the timid. So, our program is coming back. People say, they said Texas was back every year before this year, but
just like Miami.
now we have the tools. We go into the SEC as well. We have the offensive lineman for it, the offensive line coach for it. The offensive line coach came from the best team in the SEC over the past 10 years. So
When does the SEC transfer begin?
my sophomore year.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And Oklahoma's not ready for the move. We
No,
are.
so?
We are though.
Yeah, no, Oklahoma's not.
How many teams are making the move?
Just us in Oklahoma.
That's it for right now.
Yeah.
And then, but they don't know which division, right? They don't know which.
We're going SEC West.
You're going to be, and then they're going to be SEC East. Is that how it's going to go?
No, we're going to be SEC West. Oklahoma's going to be SEC West.
And then they're gonna slide a current West team to the East. To
Yeah.
balance things.
And I think
because you have to balance.
I'm pretty sure Alabama's going to the East.
Oh, really?
And it's
Oh,
gonna
shit.
that's
I don't
gonna
want
be
that.
that's gonna be rough. You got
Yeah.
Florida, Bama, Georgia, all on the same
I
side.
pray against that.
Tennessee, if Heupel continues to grow that program.
Oh, gross, man.
I
No,
mean, right now, in my opinion,
that's
Tennessee's
the worst
best
news
team
I
in
had all
college football.
night.
Yeah.
And it's either gonna be Bama or it might be Auburn.
Well,
You
this
never know.
weekend we find out it's Georgia, Tennessee, right?
Yeah, I mean, without a doubt, regardless of what happens this weekend, Tennessee is the best team in college football right now.
Okay. There you have it.
Keith says, "Relax, Pink." The majority of the media says Miami is back. I roll.
The majority of the media.
And then your mom says Deion isn't building the brand; he is just highlighting what's already there. That's why you should have came in, because I would have asked you to
Elaborate on
elaborate on
Tell her
that.
pull up. It's 10 o'clock.
Pull up. It's not too late.
It's not too late, huh?
But yeah.
I wanted to briefly talk about the top 25 that just came out here. Are there any surprises or just teams that you think should be placed in a different place? I mean, seeing Tennessee number 1 is still like it's almost an eyesore, but it's
This is my problem.
They've earned it.
they have though.
This is my problem with this. There's no way in hell you're telling me that Tulane is beating us.
Coming in at number 19.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Like that's my problem with this list. And I feel like if our starting quarterback Quinn Ewers got hurt week 2 against Alabama,
and was on fire. If he doesn't go down, Texas wins that game.
he was 13 for 13, 123 yards and a touchdown.
Like a quarter and a half.
Before the first quarter was over.
Oh, really? Okay,
Wow.
I was gonna say yeah.
And if that's the case, then I feel like we're a top 5 team at that point, but we had some unnecessary losses, especially the Oklahoma State one, but it was his first road game. And
Have you been at any games?
yeah, I've been to one game. I've been to the Iowa State game.
Could you go to every game if you wanted to and had the time and
I really
everything?
would.
Yeah.
The atmosphere is crazy.
Oh, man.
What surprises me on this list is TCU. Being that they're
That's
in
a
the Big 12,
surprise.
being that they're in the Big 12 as well, but
They're still undefeated though.
they're one of the most consistent teams in the country.
Does Texas play them in the regular season?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
November the 12th, we play TCU.
Okay.
That's a huge game.
I
Do
honestly,
you plan on going to that one?
I don't know yet.
You don't know yet.
But people always say SEC, Big 10, but if you think about it, Big 12 on fire this year.
yeah, they are. They are.
TCU, Oklahoma State, Texas, and we did have Kansas in there. Kansas State up there
Kansas
too
State's
right now.
13 right now. Yeah.
Kansas State up there too.
I would say this for me. The biggest surprise is Clemson in front of Michigan. I think Michigan's been a consistently better team.
Here's my thing: you put Michigan against anybody under them, and I think they have a hard time, other than Tulane.
You think
And
so?
I think I genuinely do. I don't think that the Big Ten is competitive whatsoever. It's not.
Do you feel similarly about Ohio State though?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So
I do.
They're a bit of a fraud.
Ohio State.
Just the overrated conference is what I'm hearing from him.
Right, and if you think about it though, Ohio State, the players that they have in their program, that's the reason they're number 2. Not because of the competition level, it's because they arguably have better players than everyone else. Ohio State has better players than Tennessee, Georgia, and Bama.
Wow.
They do.
From top to bottom, you think?
From top to bottom.
Oh, they probably have, a couple of those receivers would be NFL guys, and they've been pumping NFL receivers
they have.
The
for years.
number one receiver in college football right now is a sophomore at Ohio State.
Wow.
Think about it. That's another year of hell for everyone else.
Yeah, for real. I mean, and the quarterback's a sophomore, right?
CJ Stroud is a junior this year.
Oh, so he'll probably go to the draft.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I feel like it's just the Big Ten isn't very competitive anymore. You have Ohio State, Penn State, and Michigan. I love Ohio State to beat Michigan by 30 this year.
By 30. Wow.
Michigan doesn't have the DBs anymore.
Okay.
Bet as you heard that.
It's just
Yeah, Illinois is ranked in there too.
right.
It's
Come
been a
on,
while since I seen that.
come on now. Illinois getting steamrolled by.
I despise the Big Ten. I don't even I just don't know.
Illinois getting steamrolled by majority of those teams on there. This is. I'm gonna show you Texas versus Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
Look. I'll show you Texas versus Illinois.
That guy weighs what I weigh, man.
Keith actually sent me that. He sent me the highlight to play on here. I didn't have time to put it on here.
He about 250.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
6'5", 250.
Jesus, you made him look like a dwarf.
I mean, what do you expect? But let's see who else. Is
Oh,
in
and you saying he's actually going to a that's why you said that? He's going to a
Illinois.
big Oh yeah?
Wow.
Let's see who else shouldn't be on here. LSU shouldn't be this high at all.
Syracuse is slided. They lost their last 2 games.
Yeah, LSU shouldn't be this high whatsoever though.
No, I don't think so.
Not even
either.
close.
That's crazy. Top 10? That's crazy.
Utah getting steamrolled by majority of teams on there. I just don't see it. North Carolina should not be on there at all, even though their quarterback is balling.
No, he is a good quarterback.
What's going on at Oregon State? I haven't seen them play all year.
Oregon State, they on AP poll, they're number 25.
Okay, I mean, I haven't. Yeah, do they have any quality wins yet or no?
Let me check.
And this is just outrageous. How UCF is the only Florida school on this list. I don't know. I feel sick.
again-
It's like I don't know.
Once again, UCF is the best team in the state.
I don't know. I rather no comment than to get into that. It's just sad, man.
You see, Oregon State is ranked 24 right now.
Yeah.
They opened up with Boise State, beat up Boise State by 17.
Okay.
They beat Fresno State, Montana State by 50, and they lost to USC by 3,
Okay,
and lost to
USC, yeah.
Utah by 30.
by
Okay.
30.
They beat Stanford, Washington State, Colorado.
Oh, they shouldn't be rated there then.
No, they're not.
No.
They shouldn't be at all.
They should be outside the top 25. Certainly behind UCF.
Yeah.
Go Knights.
I mean, UCF is getting steamrolled by Texas too. But
That was a big game. What was that? A few years ago, maybe more than a few years ago. You remember that
What's
UCF Texas?
let me see.
What happened?
That was like I just remember it being a really big game.
I'm not gonna lie to you. UCF should have been the #1 team in the country. Like, what was that? The
One of those
Scott
years.
Frost season?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
what I'm saying.
I think it was.
Matter of fact, they have a banner up saying that they're the national champions.
it was week 3. It was week 3.
What year?
2007.
7?
No,
Oh,
it wasn't
I'm getting old.
2007. No. The
No.
Scott Frost thing?
He's talking about Texas UCF.
Oh, Texas.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Texas won.
I was gonna say that the day that they beat Auburn.
Yeah.
That was the last time I threw up from drinking. That was New Year's Day. New Year's Eve, I was at my cousin's house, and we were just throwing down the shots. He had a big projection screen out by the pool outside. I kept telling him to put porn up there. I threw a water bottle at one of his neighbors.
I thought you didn't drink like that.
I didn't. That's why it stopped. It was out of hand. My daughter was so mad. Like she drove home and just got out of the car and burst into tears, ran into the house. I didn't even know what I did. Like, I just got up feeling crappy. And it was just like, what the hell happened last night? And then he called me, and we were talking, and he's like, do you remember throwing a water bottle at my neighbor? I go, no, did I?
Keith is said the same UCF team that lost to Louisville and ECU.
That would be the team. They just beat Cincinnati, the Bearcats.
But still, they're not a top 25 team in my opinion. I mean, but UCF is beating Miami any day of the week, though.
I just hope
Middle Tennessee runs Miami.
I just hope we beat Miami on Saturday night.
I mean,
It's
is
Saturday,
it
right?
in Miami?
Yes.
Still won't pack out the stadium.
No, they won't.
It'll still be about 20,000 in attendance.
Miami is rough, with fans, and that's in every sport in Miami. It's just too much to do.
Yeah.
And probably nobody that lives there actually went there. That's another thing.
Yeah.
Tallahassee is littered with people that.
I mean, barely anybody has went there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Private. It's a private school too. I want to.
Case will be there. Hopefully taking an L.
He said, "What he said? Did he say that?" I'll be there.
Yeah. Plenty of seats available. If you want to join Keese.
It's not too late.
I think they give out free tickets at the gate when you get there.
Man, shout out. I can't
Throw in a warm pretzel and I'll go.
Lord knows I can't make any bad jokes, man. My team is just as bad, if not worse.
Oh.
All right. Once again, you guys are on the bench podcast with bubbapink, home of sports, music, and mayhem. I guess we want to end the show here with this NBA topic, and then we'll see if Peyton has an interesting story he wants to close us out with. Okay. A funny story, not interesting. We did interesting first. Next is funny, if he has one. So as soon as Nash gets fired from the Brooklyn Nets, the rumor and Woj comes out and he's saying,
It usually has more weight than a rumor.
Yeah, so that's why I say, let me go back. 24 to 48 hours, within 24 to 48 hours, Udoka is going to be the new head coach for the Nets. They trying to finalize the deal. I mean, and it seemed like almost as soon as. Do you think it's too soon to bring on Udoka as a head coach for any team? Huh?
Why?
Because of what just happened. He got.
I don't think that is a uniquely Boston issue. He fucked the wrong bitch in Boston. Like, that's what that is. Like, that's not like he didn't perpetrate a crime. Yeah. He didn't. He was not bad as a coach. That is a uniquely Boston issue, and I don't see any reason why you wouldn't hire him. I was baffled by the whole 1 year suspension. Like, why not fire him?
Yeah, why not just fire him?
I was a little surprised that Marcus Smart. I saw some quotes before we went live, that I guess his mindset was, hey, he's just suspended for a year. Like, why is he going to Brooklyn? We are expecting to have him back. But I just can't. Time moves too quickly. I just can't imagine you suspend him for a whole year, unless the bottom falls out with the Joe Mazzola. Like, why would you then make a change back? It just seems like really weird. And they have enough talent. I don't expect the bottom to fall out of that team.
If you're Boston, I mean, he's under contract.
Yeah.
Are you not afraid of him going to Brooklyn? I mean, like, they have all of this talent.
You decided to suspend him.
Apparently, the missing piece is that they just need a good head coach. Apparently, you listen.
Well, that's the narrative. But I mean, you chose to suspend him.
Yeah, but regardless if you suspended him or not, you can keep him if you wanted to. You don't have they're letting him go to Brooklyn.
But that's what, like realistically, what kind of jerks would you have to be to just keep a guy on ice for you when he has an opportunity?
The type of jerk that wants to win an NBA championship. The type of jerk that you just got close last year and you didn't make it. That was your head coach. And if he's such a great head coach, you don't want him to go to a team that has the talent.
If he's such a great coach, let him kill 3 or 4 guys and keep him coaching. Don't.
It's one of the owner's wives, man.
Who cares?
Like, you just can't go around screwing. Like if you're Brooklyn, part of the ownership, you have to be thinking like that. I just hope this guy don't come in here trying to screw it.
I posted yesterday on Facebook, hide the married women in Brooklyn. MA's on the way.
MA's on the way, man.
Yeah, man. No, this is a good move for Brooklyn. I think it's a really good move for Brooklyn. It's so much better than some retread coach that whatever.
Yeah.
I like it a lot, and I think for Boston, they even if it's justified to suspend him, whatever. I just don't agree with the suspension. If what he did is that bad, like, you're going to feel differently after he fucked your wife next year, game 1? Like, seriously. Like, be realistic. Fire the guy, don't suspend him, and move on.
Yeah.
So in a way, everybody gets what they want. Boston gets to move forward. They don't have the specter of him returning or whatever over their head. And Brooklyn gets what I expect to be a pretty good coach for their situation.
Yeah, I think so. Peyton, do you have any funny stories? Hopefully you've been thinking over there for us.
He tried to set you up there for a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Funny stories. Not really funny. It's just that West Orange game, man.
Yeah, go over that West Orange game, because we talked about it on the show actually last week.
Yeah.
I wasn't at the game. Pink was at the game. So what? Yeah.
So
talk about that and what transpired and the team's feelings on that.
Okay, to close, West Orange has one of the best run defenses in the state.
Okay.
They got a linebacker that just gives out headaches and concussions. And, we rushed for over 100 on them, and, we were both like neck and neck the entire game, and then they kind of pulled away from us a little bit by a touchdown.
I thought you guys were a little run heavy early. Like, I thought when you guys started to throw it around a little bit in the second half, fourth quarter.
I mean, once they started expecting,
nice. Yeah.
Once they started expecting run, they stopped expecting pass. So those linebackers are on their toes every single play rather than flat-footed. So so it's kind of like it's 7-7, I believe. It's 7-7 or something. It's something along the lines of there. So coach kicks a field goal. I think it's 10-7 at this point, I believe.
Yeah.
It's 10-7. Coach kicks a field goal, and then
they came back and scored.
They came back and scored.
But you guys,
and I believe
they missed the extra point.
Right. So I believe it was 13-10.
And we haven't mentioned this yet, but this is Dr. Phillips,
at
the school that Peyton is attending,
hosting West Orange.
Hosting West Orange.
So it's 13-10.
And you guys had a great drive.
So, right, 13-10. They scored go-ahead touchdown. It's about 2 minutes left in the game, I believe.
No, you had when you guys got the ball back. It was about 5 minutes. You guys had a long drive.
So I know what we did then. I think we pounded the ball, and then we took our short pass. We took the candy from the baby. So driving the ball, and I turned to the sideline. I tell Coach, I said, Coach, give me the ball. Run the ball behind me. Let's punch this thing in. So, Coach runs behind me. We scored. Kicker drills the kick.
So up 4, so that takes 17. The field goal out of play.
It's 17-12. We're up 5.
Oh, so it's 13.
No.
17-13.
No, it was 10. It was 10-13.
Oh, okay.
So now we're up 17-12.
Okay.
And game is supposed to be over now. It's
45 seconds left at this point.
45 seconds left. Third down. Well, then they finally get a first down, and it's like 8 seconds on the clock. And one of their linemen false starts. Ref doesn't call it. This is the last play of the game. Ref doesn't call it. Quarterback drops back, rolls out of pocket. 2 O-linemen are holding guys from going and following the ball. Like, you cannot do that.
That's what I saw. It would have been your right defensive end got around the edge, and it was just a clear hold.
You did say that.
Like,
You said that on the show.
like grabbing him.
Like you could clearly see it.
Yeah,
Right.
nothing subtle. This was a hold, man.
And then
They let that go.
it was something on the front side, too. Our left end,
Yeah.
he tried to turn, and he couldn't turn because the offensive lineman was holding him. Jersey
So there's
pulled
a
and
false
everything.
start, 2 holdings.
And
And I literally, as the holding was occurring, I was next to your mom, and I'm like, "That's a hold!" And like, this is before the ball even got released.
bro, quarterback rolls out, sets his feet, just throws up a prayer, bro. Throws up a prayer. We have 6 guys in the area.
Hold on. And what yard? Like what?
They're
About
on, like-
midfield.
About midfield?
Yeah.
They're on like their 45.
Yeah.
Something like that. Okay. So this is a good distance.
And
yeah.
throws up a prayer. We have 6 guys in the area. They have 2 in the area. Our guys jump instead of staying on the ground
Yeah.
and breaking up the pass. They all jump for the ball. One of our guys tips the ball. It floats back. Receiver catches it as he's falling into the end zone.
Oh, man.
And then they rush the field, bro.
Hey,
And mind you, I got my pass popped. I'm like, hey, ain't no way they scoring no Hail Mary now. Come on, that's one in a million. The thing is, like, we were 1 play away from being district champs.
1 play away.
And that's been the story of our whole season.
Yeah.
We have not lost the game by more than a touchdown. Our biggest margin of loss is 11 points, and it was 3 field goals and a safety on the punt.
Oh gosh.
And nobody has beat us just because they're better than us. We've literally shot ourselves in the foot every single game.
When I asked Keith about y'all season, that's the exact thing that he said, man. Because I asked him, is this a better DP team than last year? And he was like, a lot of close losses and just unfortunate things, and that's just sports, man.
Right.
That's just sports.
On paper, I feel like our team is better at every position except for the quarterback position.
Yeah.
But I do feel like we have better athletes this year across the board that are more bought in and all of that. But, like, just from the looks of it on paper, you would think last year's team. But, we are 6 plays away this whole season from being 9-0 right now and the number 1 seed in the state.
Yeah.
And it's all been self-inflicted. That's what hurts. That's what hurts the most.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
for sure.
Nobody has beat us because they're better than us. Everybody has beat us because we shot ourselves in the foot. That is it. Those are the only reasons why we've lost the game, is because of a mistake. And a Popka game, we lost a Popka game because they magically got a 35-yard penalty flag for a face mask, and nobody was in the vicinity of the runner. But you're never
A
gonna
35-yard penalty.
Yeah, you're never gonna go into a Popka without some BS happening.
Right.
Yeah.
So situationally, how many games remain to play?
1.
Okay. And are you still in the mix to get to the playoffs?
We're currently in the playoffs.
Okay.
But, if we're currently in the playoffs, we're going to win Friday. But in the case that we lose on Friday, God forbid, we'll be fighting for a playoff spot.
It'll come down like tiebreakers.
But
or other
you guys
results.
own your own, like, what's that term?
Own your own destiny.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
But no, I
And
think
what's hurt us a lot, what's helped us a lot is our defense hasn't given up any points this season.
Oh, so it's a really, really good
The
defense.
most points we gave up was 30 points this season. And other than that, the next most points was 19.
that's give yourself a chance to win when you play defense.
Right. And defense wins championships, offense sells tickets.
Yeah.
What's one other position that you just in your mind you like? I know I could play this if I really wanted to. You're an offensive lineman. You're going to the next level as offensive lineman, but just in your head, in your own thoughts, what's another position you just confident, like if I really wanted to and train for it, I could play it?
We talking 150 pounds less, or
if you really wanted to. So if you put in the work, if it had to take the lose weight.
Oh, okay. If I lose 150 pounds, I'm playing receiver.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I feel like I'd want to play safety though.
Safety, really?
Yeah, I want to play.
And you
safety.
think you could do it?
Yeah.
And you think weight is the only thing? If you just said, you know what, I changed my mind, man. I'm finna lose this weight.
I'm about to be the biggest safety in football history.
Yeah.
Safety is my spirit animal. You know, general of the field.
Yeah.
I'm still looking for my spirit animal, man. That's awesome.
Nah, it is, man. That is.
When you were younger, did you play other positions as well, or no?
Tight end, running back.
Okay.
And that's it.
There's never been like a notion like for put you on like D-line and goal line package.
I played
and stuff?
D-line as well.
Oh, but now like there's no way like if it was like a 4th and 1 or something in a major situation, they wouldn't just put you in.
It depends on the situation. If we in the playoffs, yeah, but regular season probably.
No, yeah, I'm saying 4th and 1 to keep the season alive.
Yeah.
They'll put you in there and just okay.
Yeah, that's how we put my knee braces on and go in there.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Break glass only in case of emergency.
Right.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But
yeah, I mean, I guess going to what his question is, I don't know. I just feel like it could be fun to wreak havoc on the defensive line and just like.
Yeah, I mean, there's D-linemen get to do whatever they literally want to us, but
yeah.
you know, as soon as we close our hand a little bit on the outside of a shoulder pad, it's
Hold it.
It just
Unless,
came
of
to me
course,
over
it's
that.
the final 6
They
seconds
get
of
to-
the West Orange game.
they get to club us, choke slam you, punch you in the throat, poke your eyes out, pull your face mask down, do whatever they want to you. But as soon as you do anything, it's terrible.
This is another thing I want to ask, because like I said, we fans, we're on TV, we're watching. How hard is it to really stay in your stance and not get a false start? I tried just in my room one day because my team kept we got like 5 in a row of the fucking Gators on. I just said, let me try this shit, man. How hard is it to just stay in place? I guess the thinking is you know your count, you know when you're supposed to snap the ball.
Right.
Is that really the strength? Is that the only thing to it?
Sometimes your body moves on its own.
You know what I mean?
Like, think about this. You have, before the snap, the opposing team's band is trying to play so that you can't hear.
Right.
It's a tactic.
Yeah.
Everyone's screaming. You have defensive linemen in front of you grunting, doing all this extra stuff. You got to make this block. You got to take the right step. You got to make sure you get your butt in a certain hole. You got to make sure you don't give up the edge. Whatever. There's so many things that an offensive lineman has to take care of in a single play, but it looks like we're just blocking.
Yeah.
That sometimes your body just separates itself from your mind. It's just like. It's not even like you just get up and you just do all of this. It's like
like a reflex.
Like sometimes like I've gotten called for one false start this season. I literally went like this.
Your head is done. The one that kills me though is like everybody's sort of set, but then like the quarterbacks like look into the sideline. It looks like they're adjusting the play, and like the clock starts running. Those are the plays. It feels like you guys must be in your position for 30 seconds, and it's like what the
QBs
heck?
usually tell you easy. That means like
We're not finna snap right now.
tense up, like let all the tension go. You know, because you have to. You know, we're holding. Everybody else is in a comfortable position on the field.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We see D-linemen, they could get down on the knee and wait.
All type of stuff.
Yeah.
Once our hand is down, there's no picking it back up.
Right. Yeah. No,
I play off a 2-point stance sometimes, so I can stand up and wait. But other than that, no.
Have you moved around this year, or you stayed on one side?
This season, I played every position on the offensive line.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I did. The game I was at, you moved a little bit around.
I played tight end. I be going in motion. Playing tight end. I played guard, left tackle, right tackle, right guard, right tackle.
You pulled as well?
Yeah, I pull about 8 to 10 times a game.
Oh yeah.
And
is that done on purpose for your experience, or is that done because they need you to do?
I got to wreak havoc.
Okay.
I mean, it's a win-win situation.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I think it adds, like when if he's going to pull, it also creates a little bit of deception. You know, if they're running and you're at right tackle or right left tackle, it's like you're going behind you all the time.
Yeah.
Now you run something that requires you to pull. It changes the point of attack, but you're still running behind your main guy.
I'm not sure if you saw, but there's a little bit of confusion that happens on the defense when I go to tight end is because it looks like I'm still playing offensive line because I have this number and I'm huge. Like usually when you see a tight end, okay, he's 70 pounds less than everybody else. That's the tight end.
Right, exactly. Yeah, no, you're right.
But that's not the case. I don't know if you saw me go in motion.
I didn't see it. I must have missed the point when you went motion. Yeah.
I go in, I get in my stance, wait, 2-point stance, go in motion, run to the other side, and do the exact same thing I was doing on the other side. So.
The thing I feel about that though, it seems like if a team is watching film, like if they know you're gonna, they have to know to play because you only do that once or twice a game, right?
Go in motion.
Yeah.
I mean, we can run anything out of it. It's a basic tight end package. You can run your entire offense out of it.
Yeah,
and it's not like and the thing is, it's not like I can go downfield. So it's either I'm blocking or I'm blocking.
Oh, okay.
When you do the motion tight end, do you have to check with the official and say that you're now in an eligible receiving position?
No, I'm not eligible because of my number, so I don't have to do that.
Oh, because your numbers rules you out.
If you're on the line of scrimmage, you don't have to let them know that you're eligible.
Oh, okay.
Like if you're in between, so say you have two tight ends on the line of scrimmage, correct?
Yeah.
The receivers on the outside cannot be covering those tight ends, otherwise those tight ends are ineligible.
Right.
So
and they call that a what do they call that, line? What's the call? What's the flag? Illegal formation. Yeah.
So
okay, I got you.
So tight ends can't be covered whatsoever.
Yeah. Okay, that's right. Unbelievable.
That's good. Look at
So who do you play this Friday?
Breaking down some football to us.
Jones. Okay.
Jones. How good is Jones this year?
Jones is pretty solid this year. You know, they're a great team. They're very disciplined. You know, so
they were good last year. That was when y'all played in the Camping World.
We're gonna get after it. You know, better team this year. They're a better team this year. You know, they have some guys. We have some guys, and it's time to play football.
There we go. Let's get it done.
That's it. Any last things you want to say here?
If you can, make it Friday night, 7 o'clock. Dr. Phillips High School, Jones High School versus Dr. Phillips High School.
It's at
Dr. Phillips.
At Dr. Phillips. You get like the fireworks from the theme park during the game. Pretty nice. The concession stand cheeseburger was solid as well.
No, for sure.
That's right, man.
You did have to pay for parking.
You didn't?
You did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I wasn't happy about that.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, I don't carry cash, so I had to like go past the school, and there was like a convenience store, and they had an ATM. I had to
Hold
get
on,
cash
you went
in
and had to turn around and go back and go to.
Well, no, as I was pulling up, I saw that they were collecting money,
okay.
and so I just stayed straight until I could find somewhere that would have an ATM. But if you are going to go to the game, have a little cash in hand, because you can buy your ticket on through an app, so you don't need cash for that.
Sometimes, like, you can use Apple Pay now too.
Okay.
Yeah.
For parking too?
No.
Oh, okay.
For tickets.
All right, I got you.
Yeah. Well, I'll be out of town myself, but hopefully you guys win so I can see you guys in the playoffs.
I got you.
For sure.
Yeah, that's it, man. Well, you guys have been on the bench podcast with Bubba and Pink. We had our main guy in here, Payton Kirkland.
Yes, sir.
All right, DP. They have their game this Friday, and then next season, you guys
Hook 'em horns.
Hook 'em horns.
Hook 'em.
See you guys next week.
Bubba had to work on that.
Yeah, I do. I got to get it together, man. I'm not used to throwing up gang signs.
All right. All right.